Hello YouTube, this is explanation on how to drop gear, so you guys better understand what it's about. So, I thought I was doing a voiceover when I made this, but I didn't, so let's get started. So, basically how this is done is you see that, well, there is, like, stuff around me. So I have to basically make sure it's not laggy, otherwise this is going to be horrible. So basically, as I'm showing you guys in the video, I'm skipping ahead so I can get to the point so you guys don't have to stay here any longer than you are. So you guys are wondering, what is a bucket? What is it used for? What do you do with it? So the bucket is a gear item that is in the social category, and it's pretty cheap. It's within the cheapest Robux buying thing. And basically what you do with a bucket is you give it to a humanoid source. That could be a player, an NPC, and it will swap the gear item out of your hand so you guys know what you're doing in this process. So you guys So basically, to drop gear, you take the bucket, you give it to, let's say, the pinata in this video, which I will be showing you, but I thought I was voiceovering while I was doing this, so I'm going to skip the video. Alright, so as you can see, I skipped to the point here. So, right there, as you see, I dropped the bucket at that point right there because the bucket is now in the hands of the pinata. The pinata does not have showable hands, it's just a head and a torso. So when you give it to the pinata, it just drops it right there. So basically what I'm doing is I am walking onto the bucket, which will basically give me the bucket and it will swap it for the gear item. So basically what I'm doing is I am force dropping my gear item. So I basically don't have the gear item in my hand. It's on the floor because I'm holding the bucket instead. Here, I'll show you what I mean as the video goes by. So, as you can see, as I drop a gear item, that gear item right there that I just dropped, the bear launcher, the bear mine launcher, it swaps the bucket for the bear mine because the bucket is held inside of the pinata right there, which can't hold gear items. As I said, it doesn't have hands or arms to hold the actual physical thing, so it's just going to go on the floor. So from that, it just swaps the gear item so it's there. I don't know how to explain this. I had a better explanation when I thought I was voiceovering, but I didn't. So people think I edited this out, but it's literally right there. You need to be in a social game. So if you guys play games like Phantom Forces or simulators or Meep City, you guys can't use the bucket because it's not a social game. You need to be in a social gear allowed game for you to be able to drop gear with the bucket if you guys have gear, or if you guys have the bucket. If you guys have gear that you could have bought, then you sure as hell could have got the bucket. That's common sense. The bucket's the cheapest item you can get. But besides that, continue on through the video, and if you guys still don't understand, I'll explain it in a more English way than possible. So as you can see, I am dropping more than one item here because I am doing the back and forth trading with the bucket use. So I give the bucket to the pinata takes the bucket out of my hand, then I grab an item, then I walk on the bucket, then it drops the gear item that I was originally holding because it's giving me the bucket instead because I picked up the bucket. Now you guys are thinking, how come it didn't just pick up both? It's because the bucket is still being held by another humanoid figure. But once again, as I said, the pinata is just a torso and a head, so it's not going to show arms on it holding the bucket like my character does. So, if you guys still don't understand, what I'm trying to tell you is the bucket is a trolling gear meant to take items out of other people's hands when they're trying to, like, torture noobs or something like that. It's mainly used so you basically do what I just showed you guys. Drop stuff out of other people's hands. So, it's also good for using tag, as the description shows, but basically what you do with this is you hold the bucket out in your hand, you walk up to something that is alive, and it will take the bucket from you. Alright? You guys catching on? And once the bucket is inside the other living thing's hand, you walk away from it, you hold another gear item as the living thing is still holding the bucket, and you walk up to the living thing with the other gear item that you're trying to, like, take out of your inventory, and just walk right up and touch the bucket. As soon as you touch the bucket, it will rip the gear item out of your hand and throw it on the ground. Well, you have the bucket in your hand because it swaps. It's a gear swapper. So if you guys still don't understand, just rewatch the video. Honestly, I can't really explain this any better than I already have, so please understand, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and yeah, that's all there is to say.